Welcome back to the program. Let's head over to South Africa. The country's central bank is warning that its current rate hiking cycle is not over. After 10 consecutive hikes, the bank's Monetary Policy Committee agreed to keep rates on hold in its latest meeting. Here's Sumitra Naidu with this report.
Good day.
It was a sigh of relief when the Reserve Bank governor announced that the repo rate will stay unchanged at 8.25%. South Africans have had to digest 10 rate hikes since November 2021, which pushed the prime lending rate to 11.75%.
The consumer is under a lot of pressure. I mean, all the banks have reported that impairments, which are basically defaults on loans, are increasing at a very fast pace, and even spending by consumers is under a lot of pressure. The retail sales numbers were out, and they showed that there was a big contraction.
It's estimated that household debt was sitting close to $160 billion at the beginning of 2023. A recent report revealed that consumers are spending over 60% of their take-home pay to service their debt.
Many of those consumers would have taken out their forced bond or vehicle in the period 2020-2021 when interest rates were lower. And at that time, we said consumers must be careful that they leave a buffer. But that buffer is come and gone. So I don't think we have a case of consumers overextending themselves deliberately and spending on luxuries.
However, the central bank noted improvements in the economy. Consumer inflation also eased to 5.4% in June, a level last seen in October 2021. But the governor warned that there were still upside risks to inflation and that there could be more rate hikes later this year.
At the current repurchase rate level, policy is restrictive, consistent with still high inflation expectations. Serious upside risks to the inflation outlook remain. In light of these risks, the committee remains vigilant, and decisions will continue to be data dependent and sensitive to the balance of risks to the outlook.
They're not calling the peak yet because there is so much uncertainty around inflation going forward, particularly around food price inflation, fuel price inflation. These, are affected by a number of global factors and can change. And as a result, they're not going to commit to a peak until, they basically start cutting. So, yes, is there a possibility of more hikes? Absolutely. Is there a chance that this is a peak? Absolutely.
The Reserve Bank's decision to keep rates on hold is certainly a relief, but it may be short-lived. With so much uncertainty here and abroad, the outlook remains murky. Sumitra Naidu, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Now, more than 40 different countries have expressed an interest, either formally or